Welcome back everyone, my name is Eltmar and we're going to be continuing our Let's Play of Rogue Trader. Where we left off last time, we were on Kiavagama in a manufactorum, and it looks like it's been taken over by Zenchant corruption. I moved about half a step from our save point, and we are now looking at a cage full of body amalgamation, it looks like. Numerous wires and pipes run to the filthy cages, which are filled with what looks like a conglomeration of human bodies. You cannot make out who is in the cage, but bright blue sparks flash intermittently in the darkness, while the massive flesh twitches and shudders. Heinrichs casts a scrutinizing eye over one of the cages before withdrawing his weapon and approaching to examine what lies inside. I look at a cage too. Through the metal bars, you see it is truly a pile of human bodies, or something that used to be. Monstrously deformed bodies have fused together in places, while others were severed using saws and knives, leaving wounds seeping pus and slime. Wounds that are agglutinating and sprouting tendons. Rods connected to the wires that run to a nearby cogitator bristle against the flesh. One of the human heads turns to you. Mercy. Even attempting to speak causes the mutant pain, but he bears the agony and forces out the words, mercy, make it stop. We have a Medicaid check we can do at -20. We have a 65% chance, worth a try. You examine the pulsating mass of flesh. The creature in the cage seems to be composed of several bodies joined together. You see no sutures or any other means by which the separate parts could have been connected. Among the layers of meat you can discern large knots of muscle, various limbs, exposed bones, parts of faces, and entire heads. Only warped sorcery is capable of creating such an abomination while preserving its ability to live on. What is this? Heinrichs takes in his surroundings and once again fixes his attention on the contents of the nearest cage. I'm beginning to have some idea. The Lex mechanic mentioned the inhabitants of the lower levels who had been imprisoned in their homes. He said some of them were brought here. The cultists did something to these poor people in their own home, and now they're studying the result. The Lex mechanic talked about some kind of slag waste disposal and chaos symbols on machines. What are the arch enemy's minions doing to people of the lower levels? To know the workings of dark sorcery means allowing corruption into oneself, Heinrich scowls. These are warp mutations, no doubt. Perhaps there was some side effect, and that is why they were brought here, to be connected to sensors and cogitators. Even fallen tech priests who have rejected the Omnissiah are driven by a perverted hunger for knowledge. Have you seen anything like this before? I've seen a great deal, Rogue Trader. That includes mutations caused by the sorcery of chaos, but what frightens me most is not the repulsive form, but what is hiding beneath it. Heinrichs frowns. A human soul in torment. Chaos never forgets to ensure its victims retain the ability to suffer. Why are they hooked up to cogitators? Heinrichs carefully studies the screens of the computing machines. Lingua Technis, corrupted by the scrap code, I'm sure. It's unlikely we'll be able to extract anything of value from their data crypts. Thinking, Heinrichs clenches his fist and bites down a knuckle, then recoils when the mutant from the nearest cage reaches a hand out to him through the bars. You! A female voice watches you from within the gloom of the cage. Even though half her head has been turned into a mass of bones and lumpen growths, her single eye looks at you with a surprising amount of intelligence. You promised us. Her words are echoed by other voices in the depths of the cages. Heinrichs leans towards the cage, but at sufficient distance to ensure that the mutant cannot reach him. Who are you talking to? What did they promise you? Who are they? You took us from the inferno. You promised us a reward. Her face contorts in a grimace, and the creature's lips stick together like melted wax. I'll be damned, they can still speak. They remember the people who did this to them. Heinrichs balls his fist in powerless rage, then he frowns in thought. Maybe perhaps a little biomancy will allow us to draw the fragments of knowledge out of them, or it will trigger further changes. Adira curses furiously. A little biomancy? This is a tangle of flesh and bone that, by some freakish miracle, still happens to have a soul and a mind. Come on, Iceman, let them die in peace already. Heinrichs turns to Adira. You cannot see his face, but you do see Adira suddenly shrink and cast her eyes down. What do you want to do? My psychic abilities allow me to affect the human body. It's one of the most effective tools to use against individuals who resist questioning, but if you're suggesting I want to use it, I think you're getting a little ahead of yourself. The effect of the warp energy will likely lead to an explosive reaction. I do not know the precise mechanism of this mutation. The result could even be more monstrous than its current state. I guess we're going to go with dogmatic on this one. If there's something that will make them talk, we must use it, even though we're trying to go heretic, but we don't have a heretic choice. Heinrichs nods. Yes, it's possible another person would refuse to make such a choice, but we can use the situation to help the investigation. I'm not going to argue with you. Seems your mind is already made up. Are we going to have to fight a chaos spawn or something? Heinrichs hesitates for a moment, then closes his eyes and raises his one hand. You are enveloped by an otherworldly chill. The mass of flesh in the cage suddenly rears up. The mutant wrenches open its glued together lips and begins wailing frantically. The shrieking is echoed by a chorus of howls and tortured moans coming from the neighboring cages. The mutant changes before your eyes. The tumors recede like an ebbing tide, revealing an emaciated female face twisted in agony. The woman gasps for air, stretches her now mobile neck, and exclaims, "Liar! You promised to kill me. You promised me deliverance. Every one of you. Everyone told me to have hope and the pain would go, except the truth. For that is hope. My only hope is to be freed from this pain. Please make it so. Make it so." A lump of flesh behind her head shudders and sends out a smooth, fat tentacle that covers her wailing face and drags it into itself. You feel the pressure in your ears. From the cage you hear a steady, almost imperceptible sound that fills you with despair and horror. Groxseed. Jay barely breathes the word, not sounding at all like herself. With a sigh, Heinrichs lowers his hand and looks at what the creature within the cage has become. A wetly gleaming mass of meat and gristle that no longer bears any hint of its human origins. It pulses vigorously. And that's it? The lamentations of dying people? No, not just that. What is said about hope sounds like a lie of chaos, which it uses to take root in weak minds. I believe the corrupted tech priests have repeated this phrase like an echo of what had been instilled in them. Whatever the cult of Final Dawn is planning, false hope is a key component of their plan. It's a lead, a small one, but still a lead. That's that then, but do you know what bothers me, Rogue Trader? The number of people here. There are too few. The lower levels of similar manufactorums are inhabited by millions. What happened to the rest of them? Heinrich shakes his head. I know I won't like the answer. Let's go. We still haven't done what we came here to do. Let's go take a look at the computer. The screen of this cogitator shows a scrolling line of repeated technolingua. Staring at the obscure symbols gives you a headache.
Follow my lead!
This is a relatively small area, and I'm hoping it doesn't go too deep.
Thousands and thousands of voices crying out for salvation. In hope. With wild promises. Their pain is your reward, interrogator.
Okay, this is a relatively small area.
I did not hear your last words, witch.
There's a data vault here we can take a look at. Let's just quickly glance around this room, though. Pretty hidden treasures. Nothing. Alright, let's go to the data vault. The massive cogitator grows out of the metal bulkheads like a grotesque tumor. A hollow roar sounds from deep within the metal housing. Whatever spurred the computer into action, it has enough power to supply a small command center. As soon as your eyes fall upon the cogitator, you feel a tingling in your temples. Every nook, every component of the machine radiates a sense of wrongness. One that is difficult to explain, but no less palpable for that. It's as though the construct of itself defies the laws of physics and perspective. Heinrichs makes a warning gesture. His voice, ringing slightly with tension, is threaded with disquiet. Stop, Eltamar. That is a creation of the archenemy. Don't go near it. You've done enough for me and my mission. Don't put yourself at risk now. As soon as Heinrichs takes a step towards the cogitator, it emits a deafening shriek like hundreds of metal needles driving into toughened glass, as though sensing the stranger. Wincing, Heinrichs approaches the control panel and bends down towards the screens. Despite the heat clogging the room, you feel an ice-cold breeze. Heinrichs is clearly using his psycho abilities to try and fend off the pernicious effects of the Chaos artifact. We're going to approach as well. We got psychic powers, we're fine. Heinrichs is too engrossed in the examination of the control panel to stop you. You draw closer to the side section of the cogitator housing, which has several thick cables running from it. With each step towards the flickering screens, your feeling that the cogitator is watching you with rapidly blinking eyes grows stronger and stronger. Up close, you can see that besides buttons, switches, and toggles, the cogitator is also covered in stranger writing. Can we study the screens? We have an okay chance of it. The cogitator displays a wall of text on its screens. The string of symbols is a senseless mixture of numbers, formulas, and unfamiliar characters. There seems to be no logic to it, yet there's no doubt that the cogitator is computing calculations on a prodigious scale. How about the writing? Adira suddenly appears by your side and tugs at your sleeve. Lord Captain, no, please don't. Just don't look. The whispers say nothing good will come of it. You really should step away from that thing. I'm gonna look anyways. A bundle of cables is coming from the broken side panel of the cogitator. They were clearly added after the machine came off the manufactorum's production line. The wires snake along the floor and disappear inside a maintenance hatch that leads somewhere down below. We take a step back, and suddenly one of the cogitator screens changes color, becoming a bright yellow. Your eyes are helplessly drawn to the bilious hue. You turn sharply away from the screen and you can almost feel invisible shackles falling away. The realization comes a moment later. You are not fighting against your own curiosity, but against someone's malevolent will, which has now lost its hold on us. Let's keep our distance and wait. A minute passes, then another. You watch Heinrichs examine the cogitator. His eyes scan the screens, his hands darting from the reel to the lever, sometimes hovering uncertainly over the next switch, which immediately receives a coating of frost. At some point you hear his voice, almost a whisper, barely audible above the clanging, roaring machine. Sacrifices, more and more sacrifices every minute. Heinrichs looks at you, his eyes darker now, appearing almost black in his white face. Hecatomb determinans. The womb of this cursed machine is down on the lower levels. The auxiliary enumerator controls the system, delivering molten waste under the manufactorum's main building. This cogitator is fueled by the energy harnessed from thousands of people. We're flowing beneath our feet as slag waste as we speak. But I cannot even imagine the reason for sacrificing all these people. It's inconceivable. Now we know why the fabricator sensor prized this monster so highly. The cursed tech priest and his associates created something that went beyond the limits of the Omnisci's power. This machine is designed to process myriad possibilities using warp sorcery. It's almost finished its task. It predicts the future, Eltamar. Predicts the future? How's that even possible? Do not attempt to gain any insight into the essence of the machines corrupted by the arch-enemy, at least not if you value your soul. I have encountered the heretics' mechanical abominations before. To truly fathom their nature is to allow a particle of death into your heart. Heinrichs is silent for a moment, or for a few moments, but the fruit they bear, no matter how abhorrent their instruments, the fruit they bear could be useful. Adira opens her mouth to speak, but then drops her gaze awkwardly. Heinrich stares at the cogitator's screen. Yes, let's allow the machine to finish its calculations. I wish to know what precisely the cult's minions were so desperate to see in the future. Perhaps if we were to increase the power, it would be finished sooner. We need to let the cogitator finish its task, otherwise thousands of people will have died for nothing. Heinrich vacillates for another moment, and his hands come to rest on the cogitator switches. I will accelerate the process so that everything is over as soon as possible. The cogitator's screens flash and the guttural roar from its depths turns into a frantic shriek that seems to contain the death cries of thousands. Heinrich bends over the keys and flinches as if from electrical shock. His head snaps back unnaturally and you see his lips moving. The cogitator lets out a roar that grows louder by the second. Oh. A creature came out of it. It is a Screamer of Tzeentch that has apparently made its debut appearance in the world. Let's move some people around. Actually, let's move her up one. She can be in cover. He can also be in cover. Actually, like right there. This is fine. This is pretty okay for a setup. Alright, let's do this thing. So it looks like Cassia's first, and then the Screamer is second. Cassia is not in a great position. But let's do one. Why can't our second attack go off anymore? It's weird. What did I do that screwed up her build? Maybe it's destroy the weak. For the first round of combat, everyone in the Rogue's Trader party gains 25% chance to gain 1 AP after killing an enemy. It does not receive the equivalents of attacks and abilities. That's just our heretical ability. We can move it a little bit, I guess. Which will allow Heinrich to take a slash at it for 50 damage. That's actually really good. Let's reveal the light. Sure. And then what else can we do? We can do voice of command on Heinrichs, I guess. This is, I guess, sort of his fight, technically.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Put all of our things down, and I think that is... What's this one do? Bonuses are doubled, okay. Oh, pink horrors just appeared out of everywhere. Cassia dodged the attack, that's fine. There's a Herald of Tzeentch and 2 pink horrors that appeared. not sure why they get to go first on the turn order. That's just annoying. And are killing all of our people. I don't love how they all got to go first. I'll try and move here. I'll take the AOO. 0 damage, that's fine. Let's give ourselves some shield. It's not like the warp can get much worse anyways. It'll hit Cassia. Let's not hit Cassia. With those two, I guess. 88 damage to one, and then the other got hit pretty hard too.
Not a problem for me.
I guess Cassia could do another attack. Try and lower the warp effects a little bit. She will take an AOO though, but I think she'll be okay. You can't hit that other one, annoyingly.
If I may.
Oh, that was a bad. She didn't dodge at all. I guess we can get Abelard to do a full turn. Now we'll get Adira to heal up Cassia. It is her turn next, so. Perils of the Warp just happened. Nothing really bad though. Okay, let's get some resolve. Let's get an analyze enemy. And that one. And then we can just try and lightning, I guess. That'll kill Cassia. 100%. We could just warp scream, I guess. Psychic scream the enemy. I guess we could put some hunts on people. Make them all prey. Cassia will hopefully heal up a little bit on her turn, if she survives that long. We'll try and kill the pink horrors and maybe the screamer. Abelard's turn. Let's get him into here. I'll take the AOO from that one, I don't care. We're going to do Sworn Enemy on the screamer. Endure. And defensive. If we slash that way, we hit Heinrichs. If we slash this way, we hit Cassia. So, better plan is to do a scream, make everyone taunt onto him, and just do another attack or normal attack. 55 damage to the Shrieker. I'll throw on Brace for Impact, just why not? Heinrich's turn. He can also heal Cassia.
For the throne's glory.
Perils of the Warp, it rebounded a little bit, and that means we can't move, but we can charge. Just gonna charge to here, so you're actually in range. Okay, we're fine there. It's Psychic Force, that's a major thing though, let's not do that. We'll just do a normal attack and endure from the extra temporary hit points. Did I click on that guy right? Yes, okay, good. And Jay's turn. Okay, so her turn is probably going to involve shooting that pink horror.
You've got a problem? I've got a prize.
Which we hit for 10. A little less than ideal there. Let me just give Abelard another turn. Or main character another turn. I'll try and blow up these two. Okay.
Tell me, and it is done.
Did some more damage. Didn't kill anyone. Slightly annoying, but that's
Am
fine.
I getting paid for this?
Cassie needs a little extra oomph as well. Take the AOs. One dead. She still doesn't get her second attack. Something happened to her build that I need to fix so she can do her double attack. I'm gonna move everyone away from here. Not all of them moved. That one did not move. Because that one didn't fully move, but one of them did, so... a plus, I guess. I need this one to move away. Somewhere like over here. Okay, that did help a little. Gets him away from Cassie at least. They're really gunning for her, though. What is Manifestation doing, by the way? Deflection and armor reduced. Okay. A little bit of that, a little bit of this. And a little bit of explosion right there. Pretty decent amount of damage, although the warp is really bad for us right now. I think I'm going to calm down on our warp use. We might just use our sniper rifle for a sec on Adira and not blow up, hopefully. There's a solid chance we shoot Cassie in the face. Let's shoot... oh, that one. Can we shoot that guy? Yes. Bad chance, but whatever. We missed. Okay. We have a blue horror dead center, which I think we accidentally summoned. But if we move to here... we can go Sworn Enemy. We can do all of our buffing up.
Indeed.
And slash one of them, doesn't really matter which one. That was a parry, that sucked. And then we go Daring Breach. Let's finish this one off first. Blue Horror dead. The Heralded Zinch is a lot harder to hit. 49% chance to hit. There we go, we got a hit. Heinrichs can come in here and fight too. %80 chance it is much better. Yes, good. And let's use Endure. Okay, Jay's turn. She is stuck in melee with 2 pink horrors. And we can only burst fire one direction, really. Take a step back and take the AOO. She doesn't have voice of command, does she? No. Alternatively, we can give our main character another turn and hope that he blows them up. Always a possibility. Why can't I shoot these ones?
Suits my purposes.
What the heck was that? Why did... I'm so confused as to what just happened there. But okay, let's just take a step back, I guess. Take the double hit. Oh, it's... I see, the wall was... the invisible wall right there is literally blocking our mouse where it was. That is so annoying.
I can do that.
So that was a screw up because we couldn't actually see what was blocking the line of sight.
You've got a problem.
Annoying. Okay, well, that sucks. I'm gonna move Cassia here.
Be careful not to cross my gaze.
Take the Herald of the Herald's AOO. Oh, we gotta move a little bit more, don't we? If I step forward when I'm gonna take an AOO, but I might not hit our own people with our voice or with our lidless eye. If I don't, I definitely hit most of our group. Then again, I would possibly kill the Herald. Alright, move forward, take the AOO.
Tones of military tactics.
Perfect, that worked out. Let's try and lower some of the veil issues, and then we can move people. Let's try and move them like here. The Herald did not move. Was not swayed.
I'm
We
not
try.
accustomed to being ordered around.
There we go. Herald dead. Nice. Let's just give Heinrichs the ability to work off some of his frustration here.
Let's see to it. Be gone. But of course, Lord Captain.
His attack spawned another blue horror.
Your reckoning is due. Naturally.
Yeah, we can't hit him. That's fine. Should be Avalard's turn pretty quick here.
Deliver us!
We're just getting all sorts of blue horrors popping up because of warp stuff.
Will do.
Okay. That was a terrible hit. I didn't use any abilities I should have. Oh well. One left.
I feel the power surging.
Awesome.
Get me a target.
I'm done with this one.
Here we good? Everything's dead. Good. Heinrichs goes back to the broken down cogitator and spends a while examining the instrument panel, and then disconnects a component resembling a data crypt, which he quickly stows in his cartridge belt. That's what the machine was put into operation for, countless symbols and numbers containing knowledge of things to come. I hope my specialist will find a way to decipher the corrupted code. Can I count on you to share whatever you find? Of course, without you, my chances of acquiring the information would be non-existent. Moreover, the cult's plans could pose a threat to your worlds, just like Kiava Gamma. I saw something happen to you, Heinrichs. What happened when you touched the machine? Heinrichs jerks his head and waves away the question, his movement sharp and unnatural. We'll talk about it later, but right now, Heinrichs' eyes settle upon us. I must thank you, Altamar. Without your help and cooperation, I doubt I would have reached the depths of Kiava Gamma and learned the truth behind my agents' dispatches and reports. I would never have ended up here, and I would never have succeeded in hampering the cult's activities. Dare I hope, esteemed interrogator, that your keen interest in this Von Valencius world has been satisfied? Oh, apart from the fact that the world is still seized by the archenemy's corruption, its populace infected with heresy, and the once sacred machines of the Manufactorum have been turned into weapons against humanity, quite satisfied, yes. My business on Kiava Gamma is concluded. It's time to return to the mission that brought you to the industrial world. The only thing I'll ask of you is an audience when we return to the ship. He bows his head to signal that the conversation is over. Cool fight.
It's about time.
And I think that's probably where we're going to end off our video. That was a pretty substantial fight. I need to take a look at Cassia because something is going on with her. Maybe I removed a piece of armor that made her abilities work twice in one turn. It is possible. I'll take a quick look at our stuff. This is very important she gets to shoot twice in one turn. That's a very important thing for her. Alright, let's take a look at our things here. Let's go type in ascending order. So currently she's wearing a helmet that gives immunity to critical hits. None of these do anything to her abilities. Okay. So then next is the demon tool. We already had that on before, that's for sure. Normal for her. Let's go through all the other things then. Unholy Shard. That's lore stuff. None of this is important. Could be possibly the boots. Nope, not really. Does she have a cloak on? Yes. Do I need to not use MP? No. 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 Okay. No, it's none of those things. Because I think it's an ability that gives her that twice shooting thing. I think it might have been from her officer training. Let's take a quick peek. Persuasion, finest hour, inspire courage, mind over matter. That's not it. It's not it either. Reveal the light. No. Strange vitality. Air of authority. I don't know why we're not able to shoot twice anymore. That's really odd. We'll look into it later. For now, though, I think I'll leave you all here. Like always, if you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. Others, I'll see you all next time. Take care. Okay, as an aside, I will note that I did figure out why Cassia wasn't shooting twice in one turn. For some reason, I hit X at some point in time, and her staff was unequipped. Her staff is the item that's giving her that double shot ability, the devastating first use of an attacking power. Does not set the power on cooldown. Didn't even notice she didn't have her staff on. That was not great. But anyways, that's what was going on, and now it's all fixed, so it should be good to go for next video.